Okay, hi everyone. We are moving on, continuing making the tutorial. This is the tutorial for the Farmhouse mini album. I have the PDF file for it. It's already over 100 pages. It's going to be quite a big tutorial, but it is more detailed than regular because I am gearing it towards new beginners. So it has a lot more detail that if you're advanced, you really don't need. The first video that I did was start to finish with the cutting and applying of the glue, and I went ahead and cut all the pieces already. So in this video and the video that will follow with the rest of the tutorial, I have everything ready and glued. Have the tape in the back already, so we can just go ahead and assemble it, and it will be faster. Okay, so let's go on. We're gonna start with a B1 from black cardstock. You have to cut 6 3/8 by 8 1/2 and score it here and here, 1/2 inch. Did I do? Okay. I don't know why I wrote this will be this right side flap. It is not the right side flap, it is the base. Okay, sorry, I just had to make a quick correction on my tutorial. Okay, so this is the base, and when I say the base, I mean the whole page is sitting on it, and then the base page will be attached to the other page on the other side of the book. Okay, so this is B1, and then I'm taking also B2. Oh, and B1 is scored, like I said, here and here, 1/2 inch. Section B2 is 6 by 9 1/2, and it is scored here at the 6-inch line. So it ends up giving you so at the 6 1/2 inch line. I have to make a correction here. It's 6 1/4. By 8 1/2. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 1/2. Okay, so it's 6 1/4 by 8 1/2. And we're scored at 1/2 inch on the left, falling at the score line, and we get 5 3/4 by 8. Okay, so this we call it the wing, just so that if you are reading my tutorial with the video, this is what I refer to as a wing. Okay, I took the tape off, and I'm going to apply it to the left side of my page. The score tape is outside because it will be folded in. Okay, B3 is exactly the same size as B2. And I'm going to put it on the right side of the page. Now I have a left flap and a right flap. Okay. So I'm taking B4 and B5. This is B4 from black cardstock, 4x6. Scored 1/2 inch here will give me a 4 by 5.5. The side where it is folded into, this side, this we call the inside. And I went ahead and cut this card out of one of the pages. Life is better on the porch. And I marked the edges with a black marker already. Repeat, do the same thing with B5. This is B5. Again, same size, 4x6, scored 1/2 inch. And I went ahead and cut the card from here. So these two are ready, and I can go ahead and put them together, but I don't have this written here, so I'm just going to put this aside for now. Next step, cut pattern paper B1 out. This is it, 5 5/8 by 8 1/4. Paint the edges black, which I did. Cut pattern paper B2 ins, which ins is for the inside, B2 out for the outside. Each are 5 5/8 by 8 1/4. And I painted the edge already with a black marker. Cut the pattern paper B3 ins and B3 out. Okay, I changed it up. Instead of using B3, the yellow gingham pattern. I think that's what it's called, right? Gingham, something like that. I always forget what the patterns are. I decided to use this one because I screwed up on the cut and I didn't have enough for everything, so I changed it and I used this instead, which is okay. You know, you're allowed to change, use different patterns than what I have printed on in the PDF. So I went ahead and marked those with black as well. And number 13, cut and score the pockets. So I have 3 pockets. They're 6.5 by 4.5. You notice that I have 2 SS next to the 6.5. It means you score twice on each side. Okay, and then I have 1 S next to the 4.5, and it means you score half here. So if I have 1 S, it means you deduct 1/2 inch from the 4.5 side that you cut. So eventually you're going to get a 5.5 by 4.5 pocket. Went ahead and repeated and did those 3. I did not cut the edges, so I'm going to cut the edges now. And you're going to cut the edge as close as possible to the point where the 2 score line meet. Here we go. And you repeat that 3 times. And if you notice, I put the tape over here on this side where the groove is, so that when you fold it, and you fold it this way, because the groove is here and the mount is here, when you fold it 3 ways, this is how it's going to attach on the page, this way. Okay, so you go ahead and fold the rest of them. I'm going to use my bone tool to flatten it out a little bit, and it's good idea to just give it a light ironing. This way it stays nice and flat. It doesn't move when you tape it. You're not gonna have to fight those wings to put it down. Just don't do it too hard. Don't press on it too much, because then you will actually damage the paper. Okay. Okay, step 15, we have B6, B7, and B8. I have 3 pieces. Cut to 2 3/4 by 5 1/4. Already marked, the corners are marked and taped. So all my pieces are ready, and just a little thing here. B6, B7, and B8. I cut out of my borders, and you know, the graphic 45 has a nice always have some borders here, so I cut those 3 strips. They are 1 1/8 by 5 1/4. And always double check the measurements that I'm giving you, because my laptop screen is a little far and it's very little, and I'm not sure I'm reading it correctly. Okay, so let's put these 2 things together. So once I put the flaps on the pages, okay, and I have those 3 here, and I can fold this here. Actually was a little ahead of myself with this. Okay, so this is the picture where you can see with the 2 flaps out. And you're going to apply the pattern paper B1 onto B1. I'm going to apply, actually this here. All right, this is the outside. Where the flap goes, that's the out part. And I think I folded it on the wrong side, so let me just correct that. Okay, so this is my out and this is my in. I'm going to mark it out so we know. That's the out. B3 inside will go here, and I know it's inside when I know that when I'm closing those flaps, this is gonna be inside the page. Let's go ahead and apply it. And it is a little bit of a big page. So what we want to do is we want to make sure that we're putting it straight. The first thing you do, and I will repeat this a few times during the tutorial, and this is something that I'm guilty of and I sometimes don't do, is put the paper on the page to make sure that it fits before you remove all the glue and attach it. So what you want to see, what you're looking for, is a black frame around it. And I'm going to just take this to show. Okay, you want to see a black frame all around it. If it's too close, it's not good. If it goes on the fold, it's not good. It has to be about 1/8 of an inch away from the fold. Okay, so let's remove the corner. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to measure it here, make sure it's nice and straight and where I want it to be, and I'm holding this up and this down. See? I don't know if you see it well. Maybe I should move my, here we go. Okay, so I am putting my fingers here and holding it down, and I'm holding this up, making sure everything fits nicely. And when I'm happy with it, I press this corner down, and then I will slightly start to remove the tape. This is a good way to make sure that you're putting things straight, because once you remove the tape, you're done. All right, what I did forget to do here, because I wanted to explain to you how it goes, is I forgot to put a little bit of liquid glue there in the middle, so I will do it now. Go ahead and iron it with your hands, with your tool, with whatever you want. Okay. We're going to repeat with B2 and B3. Okay. Let me just make sure that it is good to cover. It is. Sometimes I put a tape in the center there because it's a big page. And when you're using the liquid glue, just a little bit. Don't put too much. If you put too much, it will crinkle the paper. Or you'll be able to see through the paper, and you really don't want anything sticking out. You want the paper to lay there nice and flat. All right. That's number 2. That's B2 inside. Now, why am I calling it inside and outside? Well, this is the B2 flap, and it has 2 sides. It has the inside and it has the outside. Make sure that the pattern faces you and it's upright. Okay, here we go. Lovely. Okay, so I have B2 inside, B3 out, B3 inside, and B1. Now I'm going to turn it over. And now this is my B2, but this is my out, right? This is my B2 out. And I'm going to take this pattern, okay, and just make sure that it fits properly, okay. And sometimes, and I don't know why, but you know, you cut the paper and you think you cut it to the exact size, and it turned out to be too big, too small, too narrow. And I'm not perfect. Maybe I made a mistake in the tutorial, so just make sure that it is fit properly. I'm throwing the back of the tapes all over the place, but then I have a little trash bin here on my desk. I learned that from a friend of mine that have a scrapping studio. Went there one day and we were having fun, and then all of a sudden she put this little bin on the work table next to me. Like, oh, what's this? And it was so cute. It was like a little red bin. Like, what a great idea. Usually I have a trash can underneath me and I knock it over, but this is very comfortable. So thanks, Liz, for the tip. Okay, so this is B3 out. Again, it is different than what the pattern is on the tutorial, and it is because I changed it up. Okay. Okay, so I'm turning it back around, and I'm going to put the pockets now. And I have 3 pockets the same size, and it's going to go on the bottom of each section of the inside. Okay, this is one. Let's do the second one. This new tape I just got, and it's so fresh, and when the tape is fresh, I guess it just came from the line. It's just super strong. All right, the 3 tapes are applied. And we're gonna apply those paper here. Actually, we're gonna do these 2 on the sides and this in the center. And these lines I am going to put on either side. Okay, so let's see where I want to put it. I want to put this one here, and I want to put this one here, and this one here. Okay, so as you can see, let me just take this out. I don't know if you are able to see it. I am still able to, I want to be able to have a little bit of space between them. Well, there's no space between the pattern and the line, but there is space around it. Okay. So this is what I'm going to do to make sure, because it's on the edge, and if you're cutting it, maybe it's a good idea to just trim a little bit off the edges. If you prefer, that's fine. I'm going to take this off, and I'm going to hold this where I want it to be. And then I'm going to put this right there, so I'm making sure that they are aligned. Okay. If it's easier for you to just cut and the pieces as it's, you know, comes time to put them together, that's fine as well. I don't like how it's put on there. Okay. And this is what I don't want to happen. Okay, so here we go. It's really not easy to make sure everything is just fits perfectly on the millimeter. You know, if you're a perfectionist, might be a little irritating, you know. All right, so I'm holding this here. Okay. Make sure that the writing is always facing you, always the pattern need to be facing you. Can't tell you how many times I've done a project and I went to glue on the paper and put it in the wrong side, and it's annoying. And what do you do if it happens to you? Well, the best case solution, if it happens to you, is just go ahead and glue another piece of paper on top of it. Don't try to rip it off. That's great. Now we're going to put the little flaps there. Okay. It's cute, isn't it cute? It's just so cute. I'm going to turn it around like this because this is how I'm showing it on the tutorial. Now I want to put this in the center. And you can eyeball it if you like, or you can use a ruler and mark where the center is. I'm going to show it to you with marking because not everybody can eyeball it. Okay, so I am going to go corner to corner and place my ruler here, and I'm going to take this just turn it around so that I can see the measurements from here. So this is 10 1/4 inch, and I'm going to move this 1/2 inch here and 1/4 inch here and 1/4 inch here. Okay, so this is the 1 3/4 mark. This is 1 1/2, so I need this a little further. 1 5/8 from here and 1 5/8 from here. Okay. And I need it from the fold. So this is good. And once you're happy with its placement and you're holding it with your hand to make sure it doesn't move, take the tape off and tape the piece on. Okay, I'm going to repeat that. Take a ruler and put it from corner to corner. And see that you have even space in between. So I have here from the 11th point here, and from the 1 point here is 1/8 of an inch from here and 1/8 of an inch from here. Okay. And I'm going to slide it so that it's in the corners here as well. Okay. And now you can put it. All right, if you didn't understand this method, I'm going to try to just do something else that's, you know, more lengthy but more simple. And I'm just going to put this here on the ruler. And this is, and I'm just going to go by the design paper, okay? So the design paper is 5 1/2. So I'm going to move this a little bit to the right so that it's on the 5 1/4, and I have about another 1/4 of an inch here. Okay, or actually, you know what, do it this way. So here I have a 1/4 inch between here and number 1, and here I have a 1/4 inch between here and number 6. So I'm just taking the one between the 1 and the 6, and I'm finding my middle, which is here. And this is my middle. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing here. And this is my middle. It's 3 1/2. Sorry, it's 3. Always use a pencil so that you can erase it. Okay, and now you're going to do the same thing here and find your middle when your ruler is between the 2 lines. Okay, so it's 1 2 3 4. 1 2 3 4. This is my middle right there. Okay, find the middle here. And I marked it. Okay. And find the middle here. Three and 4. Okay, so I have my 4 marks here, 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 and here, and I'll be placing it right there. Okay, it's a little lengthy, but whatever method works for you. And just don't forget to erase your pencil marks. Okay. I'm going to take the Life is Better on the Porch and put it on the left flap. I'm going to take Life on the Farm and put it on the right flap. so this page is finished. Okay, have a right side flap with this going up, this opening here, and here you have room for photo mats. So this is an example of a photo mat that will be placed in there. Okay, so to show you a quick way to do a photo mat, I'm not going to do all of them here with you, just going to show you a quick way. So for this recipe book, if you want to do recipes, I went ahead and printed on my home printer. I don't know why this is stained a little bit, but on my home printer, on white cardstock and on, I don't know, this is like a little yellowish color. I printed rules, like it looks like a rule notebook, and I printed it on both sides because, you know, I may want it to be, you know, just a card without anything matted. So I take that and I cut a whole bunch of pieces in different sizes, so I can put these little notes in there, or I can mat it over paper. And I went ahead and cut the corners round because I have a paper trimmer that does that. If you have that tool, great. If you don't have that tool, just leave them square and you glue it on. And you can glue on both sides, like this will be on this side and this will be on that side, and you have a nice photo mat. So these are nice things to put inside pockets, and you can put more than one. You can stick a few there, you know, for more recipes. And if you happen to have leftover paper, you just take that leftover paper and you cut a strip off and you glue it on the corner. So this way, when it sits in the pocket, it gives it a nice edge. So let's just go ahead and do one. So here I have one. Here I have another page, you know, that I can use the paper from. And I'm going to go ahead and use a paper trimmer. Okay, so you can take your black marker, if I ever find it. Here we go. Mark the edges. And actually it's a little too long. A lot too long. Let me just put this over here. And with thin strips, you don't have to put tape on. You can just go ahead and use your glue. Okay, and when you have a photo mat like this, and you can put it here, like so. Okay. Now if you want, again, you can go ahead and put Velcro here like we did with the other page. I'm going to leave it like that for now. Okay, so this is page B, and we're going to go and turn into doing page C.